call the meeting to order at 7:30. Roll call, please.
Mr. Simons.
Here.
Freehand is present. Mr. Boda.
Here.
Mr. Patsalos.
Here.
Mr. Horn.
Here.
Mrs. Babel.
Here.
Mr. Blackstock.
Here.
All present.
Okay, would you follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, moving on to the approval of the agenda. Is there any additions or deletions to the agenda as it's presented? I have one. I would like to move the closed session discussion of DTE property taxes to the bottom as the last thing under new business. And when we do that, we'll go into closed session and we'll come out of closed session and just adjourn the meeting. There'll be no business conducted after the meeting, after the closed session. So does anybody else have any additions or? Okay,
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda with the change of moving item number 2 to item number 5. I'll support.
all right, it's been moved and supported that we move item 2 to 5, closed session. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the approval of the August 3rd, 2019 minutes.
Larry, it should be September 3rd.
Oh. Thank you. Approval of the minutes of September 3rd, 2019.
If there are no deletions or corrections, I'll make a motion, we accept the September 3rd, 2019 board minutes.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported that we approve the minutes of September 3rd, 2019.
I do have one, it's probably just under the roll call present. I believe trustee Blackstock and trustee Horn were also here for that. It says present, those two names are missing.
Free,
They are.
Freehand wasn't here, was he?
No.
Were you here at that meeting, Bob?
I thought we had a full board last meeting.
That was September 3rd, that was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Who are you saying, Ange?
Don Horn was here and Herb was here. So they're just names used to be under present,
Oh,
that's
okay.
all.
Under present, I'm not sure what.
Yeah, you got absent none, but he left off Mr. Blackstock and Mr. Horn. See what I mean?
Oh,
Right here?
It's just a little addition.
Yeah, just a typo.
Oh.
Thank you for catching it. Amy. Okay, we have a motion to accept the minutes with the corrections of adding Horn and Blackstock to the present list. Any further discussion? Any other corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to public comment. Is there anybody in the audience that wants to talk about anything that's not on the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We have C1, August 2019 Park Commission minutes. We have C2, August 2019 Building Department report. We have C3, August 2019 Marine City Fire Authority run report. C4, August 2019 St. Clair Area Fire Authority run report. C5, August 2019 Revenue and Expenditure report. C6, August 2019 Cash Summary by Bank. C7, August 2019 Cash Summary by Account. C8, August 2019 balance summary report. And we have C9, the September 2019 Historical Commission minutes. Is there any question on the consent agendas?
Larry, on the St. Clair Fire Report,
Okay,
right behind the first page, is that a summary of everything that's inside there?
That's a summary of all the ones.
This is a summary of all the runs.
Which is something new.
There's 10 runs to 500 Bree Road.
that's what we gotta, those are the ones we're gonna have to bill because they don't get that many runs. And that, Cindy's working on that, aren't you, Cindy, right now on the fire runs? That's on our hit list in there?
Yes, I've asked them if they can provide this in a spreadsheet or some other way to track it, but in the interim, I've asked one of our staff to start pulling all of these together so we can make a simple comparison of how many repeat runs we have to the same address. So right now, we're in the process of pulling that together for the last year.
But on all those dates, it just says EMS vehicle accident with injury. We had 5 accidents there with injuries? I mean,
Excluding.
okay, it was excluding vehicle accident with injury. Okay, so they're just EMS calls is what they were. Okay.
Yeah, we've had one place that was, when we had our fire authority meeting, they said there was one place they were going to quite a bit. Somebody is evidently sick there,
Okay.
and they keep
Well,
calling.
that's understandable. I just thought there was accidents. I was wondering why we're having so many
No.
accidents there. Okay.
So,
3 of them within an hour of each other on the same day.
and we've had, Cindy and I have talked to both of the chiefs, and we're trying to get a better way to track this.
Okay.
Like she said, put it on a spreadsheet. All they had the ability to do is do it like this.
Right.
And how they've been doing it for years and years.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we were trying to address that. Any other questions on the consent agenda? If not, a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented would be in order.
I'll make that motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll support.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a support to accept the consent agenda as presented. Is there any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to disbursements. We have invoices for $89,415.59. We have accounts payable of $148,755.26. We have a payroll direct deposit of $69,417.59. We have a EFT payments of $54,970.53. And we have a tax account of $9,835,965.17. That brings our total disbursement to $10,198,524.14.
I'll make a motion, we pay the disbursements in the amount of $10,198,524.14.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a support to pay the bills in the sum of $10,198,524.14. Is there any further discussion on the disbursements? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Simons,
Yes.
Freehand votes yes. Mrs. Babel,
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock.
Yes.
Mr. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Petsalas.
Yes.
Mr. Boda,
Yes,
all yes.
Motion carries, we pay the bills. Moving on to new business, we have the Park Commission's request for Park Plan Grant application. We happen to have the park chairman here. And this is a grant, I believe, in reading it, is to get it from the Park Plan to remulch the kidscape. And it's in the sum of $2,600.
2730.
quote 2750.
30.
I was just doing it by memory, I didn't have it out here.
Do you want me to discuss it? Do you want me to?
Sure.
I'm Cindy Bode, I'm the Chair of the Park Commission. The grant that we're going to apply for through the power plan is through the insurance company, Burnham and Flower. The power plan is the risk management part of that. And this is the fourth time that the park has applied for that grant. The first two times, we redid the bleacher backs in the park. All the 5-tier bleachers didn't have backs on them. So we got those first two grants to do those, and then we got a grant for mulch. But you can only submit an application every so often. There's a time limit. So that limit is up for us now, so we're able to go ahead and apply for that grant again. That gives us 140 yards of mulch, and that does not do the whole kiddyscape. So they used to put like 10 or 12 yards in it every couple years. And when this park commission took over, we started doing the whole thing every couple years, and 140 yards of mulch doesn't do the whole kiddyscape, and it doesn't do any of the other playground equipment, so that's included in our budget for next year, but hopefully we'll be able to get that grant to help with that.
We're applying for the grant now for next spring?
It has to be in by October 1st.
For next
And
spring?
yes, and then we'll know, it'll have to be done, I think you hear by February 1st, and then it has to be done within 6 months of when you get it, when you're approved for the grant.
And will we use community service workers to put that in?
Yes, we usually do use community service. Sometimes we use the DPW to put some of it in ahead of time with some equipment. It gets to be quite a big project. Not this past summer, but the summer of 2018, we asked for volunteers from the community, and we had 3 or 4 people come and help that day. And then the community service people, they only sent us 3 people that day. And then the park workers, a couple of those kids got their friends to come and help us. So, but it took 2 days to put it in that weekend. It's a big job. So, when we do it, anybody who wants to come out and help, you're more than welcome. So, anybody have any questions about it, anything?
No, I think it's something we have to do every couple of years, isn't it, or?
Well, it's definitely a fall risk if you don't, under the slides and under the climbing equipment. And we're replacing some of the equipment. We had an inspector come out and inspect the kiddyscape last fall. And he felt the wood structure was in good shape. The kiddyscape's 20 years old. And, you're always watching for that. St. Clair just replaced theirs last week and over the weekend. And he pointed out some of the climbing equipment, some of the different things that needed to be fixed, so we're in the process of doing that. So,
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Parks Commission request for the Power Plan Risk Reduction Grant Program.
Well, we gotta do the resolution.
Oh,
I think
You can go ahead.
what's that?
You can go ahead and.
The resolution's on the back there.
And approve.
Resolution. I don't know what
Yep,
number it is.
should don't have a number.
Just
Authorizing,
make the motion and then somebody support it, and then you can read the,
I'll support him.
okay. Okay, you can read it now.
resolution, whatever it is, authorizing Michigan Township participating Power Plan Risk Reduction Grant Program application, Charter Township of East China, County of St. Clair, Michigan. Minutes of a regular meeting of the Township Board of the Charter Township of East China, County of St. Clair, Michigan, held the Township Hall on the 16th day of September 2019 at 7:30 p.m. Following resolution was offered by myself. Whereas the East China Township Park Commission is pursuing grant funding to finance the purchase of playground mulch for the kiddyscape in the Township Park, now therefore be it resolved that the East China Township Board approves of the Park Commission applying for the Michigan Township Participating Plan Risk Reduction Grant all resolutions and parts of resolutions insofar as they conflict with the provisions of this resolution be and the same hereby are rescinded.
Okay, roll call vote.
Okay, we have a resolution and a support. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Simons,
Yes.
Mr. Boda,
Yes.
Mr. Patsoulis.
Yes.
Mr. Horn,
Yes.
freehand votes yes. Mr. Blackstock.
Yes.
Ms. Babel,
Yes.
all yes.
All right, motion carries. Moving on to Michigan Pipe Inspection Incorporated proposal for Bryson Lane. Blaine, do you want to?
We've got quotes for two different projects for pipe patching for the sanitary sewer line over on Meisner and Bryson Lane. For the patch on Bryson Lane, the quote is for a T-liner, where they just line the broken Y in the pipe and put a T-liner in there versus digging it up. This is something that's probably gonna be coming, we're gonna try to put it in use over on Point Drive, where we have a lot of the problems there, so this would be a good spot to try one out, see how it works, and see if we're happy with it. Michigan Pipe Inspection subcontracts the patch installer, he comes out of Grand Rapids. And he's one of the only guys in the area that does this, the T-liner.
We're just talking about the one on Bryson Lane right
Just
now,
on Bryson Lane,
for $6,060.
yes.
Okay. And this will be done internally, right?
Yep.
So does everybody understand what we're doing here? So then we need a motion to approve Michigan Pipe Inspection in the amount of $6,060 for one lateral T repair on Bryson Lane.
So moved.
Support.
So it's been moved and supported that we contract with Michigan Pipe Inspection for the amount of $6,060. Is there any further discussion?
What is this gonna tell you, Blaine, with that going in? What's the purpose of this?
Basically, versus digging up this one T to cut it out and replace it, they're gonna insert a fiberglass patch in there through the service line.
Okay.
And then into the main to seal up the break. It's a truss pipe and the Y is cracked and broke, so the riser can come right off of it if you were to
All
lift up on it. So they put the fiberglass patch in there and seal it up.
Okay,
We found this through our camera that we did,
Okay.
2 months ago?
This was the 2018 project, and this section was finished up in the spring
Okay.
for this
Okay.
section.
thank you, Blaine.
All right, we have a motion, we have a support.
You want to do a roll call?
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Blackstock,
Yes.
Ms. Babel,
Yes.
freehand votes yes. Mr. Simons,
Yes.
Mr. Boda,
Yes.
Mr. Patsoulis.
Yes.
Mr. Horn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Motion carries, we contract with them. Now, next, we're moving on to, item 4, Michigan Pipe Inspection Incorporated proposed for Meisner Road.
On this project, there is 8 sections where the pipe is broke or cracked, and these are two proposals to patch them. 3.5-foot fiberglass patches, or excuse me, 3-foot fiberglass patches. In one section right near the Meisner Road lift station, the bottom of the pipe has cracked and broke and is completely gone. A couple other spots, the pipe is fractured, and there's an offset in the pipe wall. And a couple other spots were just cracks in there. These are not all the defects on that section of pipe, on that section of main, but these are the worst ones structurally. If we could get these sealed up and get the pipe secure for now, then we can look at the infiltration and the smaller defects.
These are major cracks, and
These are the big ones on this section.
and this is for $25,600. And being as though it's over $10,000, he's obtained bids
There's two.
for this. And he's requesting that we go with Michigan Pipeline Inspection.
I'll make a motion that we approve the proposal from Michigan Pipe Inspection Incorporated in the amount of $25,600 for 8 fiberglass sectional repairs as indicated in the inspection report.
I'll support.
All right, it's been moved and supported that we contract with Michigan Pipe Inspection in the amount of $25,600 for 8 fiberglass sectional repairs. Is there any further discussion? Everybody understands the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Simons,
Yes.
Mr. Boda,
Yes.
Mr. Patsalos.
Yes.
Mr. Horn,
Yes.
freehand votes yes. Mr. Blackstock,
Yes.
Mr. Babel,
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Blaine.
Thanks, Blaine.
The next thing on the agenda under new business is item 5, the Atchison River District Hospital Health Fair, and that's the flu shots. The hospital puts on a health fair. They've asked us to participate in the flu shots as we have for many, many years. It's roughly between $600 and $1,200 depending on how many people come for the flu shots. We share the cost of the flu shots with the St. Clair Rotary. So they've asked us to do this, so we need a motion to do that, if the board chooses to do that.
so move.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we continue to do the 50% on the flu shots with the Atchison River District Hospital Health Fair. And that's taking place on Saturday, September 21, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So we have a motion, we have a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Simons,
Yes.
freehand votes yes. Mr. Blackstock,
Yes.
Mrs. Babel,
Yes.
Mr. Boda,
Yes.
Mr. Patsalos.
Yes.
Mr. Horn,
Yes.
all yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to item 2, closed session. We're going to go into a closed session to discuss a legal opinion on the DTE property taxes. We will be going into closed session. When we come out of closed session, we will not conduct any more business. We will adjourn the meeting at that time. So if that's satisfied for everybody, we need a motion to go into closed session.
I would move that we convene a closed session to discuss the status of DTE property taxes, and that's allowable under MCL 15268. It's actually paragraph E.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a support to go into closed session. Any further discussion? Everybody understands what we're doing? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.